Hey, what's up, Village fams? Welcome to another episode of the Village HI podcast, a community for inspiration, elevation, and empowerment. I'm your host, Rocky Savainaya. Man, from Samoa to Cali to the Rock 808, Aloha State, I got none other than Laupepa Letuli, everybody. How's that intro, dog?
Tole, that was amazing. I'm gonna need you at every gig.
Hey, and we getting better from the dorm room days,
Yeah.
But everybody's my cousin Peps. Go back a long time.
Yes, sir.
Slept on you and Tua's floor.
Yeah.
If you're tuning into this episode, it's gonna be a lot of laughter. You can't replace chemistry, time, and that's where we go back. So I got this, man. 5 questions before you enter the village. We're gonna start it off. This icebreaker. All right.
Hit me.
Orange chicken, Panda Express, or 1+1 in Manoa?
1+1
Why?
all day. That plate.
Special. Why am I getting so happy?
You're like, oh,
You couldn't even close the plate,
yes,
bro.
You can eat for 2 days.
And as a
plate.
college student, man, I got to make that thing
Thank
stretch,
you.
man.
Thank you, please.
Eat afternoon and dinner.
What was that? $15, but it lasts you 2 days.
But
bro.
even the orange chicken was just, man, jam. Okay, orange chicken from from 1+1. Whiskey or kava?
Whiskey.
Oh, that was fast. Wow. Okay. Jameson, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go-to chaser at the mix.
Yo, I've been through so many different chasers.
Yeah.
And they're really bad for you too. Like you're just pumping sugar in your body, with all this shit throughout.
But
the
you're
whole,
hydrating at the same time.
kind of, yeah. It's just mixed with like cover. I use sparkling ice.
The drink?
You know those little tubes?
Yeah.
You can get from Costco.
It's like sugar-free and all that, right?
Yeah. But I use a specific one. It's the coconut pineapple one.
Yeah,
Because it has like a lihimoy aftertaste.
Oh,
yes.
After the
So like I can make that small bottle.
Yeah?
I can make it last all night.
night.
Because you're not pounding.
Yeah.
You just take sips.
Just for the taste.
Oh.
Did I show my technique? All right, so go-to chaser, you got sparkling ice, coconut, pineapple.
Yup.
All right. Crocs or Scots?
Scots.
Ooh, okay. Nike, Reebok. Oh, no, I take that back. Nike or Under Armour when we were in college?
Nike.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Under Armour gave us more stuff, but quality, I felt, was Nike all the way.
I felt faster.
How's it again? That's how I feel when I'm going to start conditioning. Okay, I'm done for today.
Thank you.
All right, so 5 questions entering the village. We got that done. Boom. Okay, that's off. All right, so this is the second part we're going to now. Distractions. All right, Peps. When we enter college, we're focused, right? And I think I ask these questions for a lot of, student athletes or guys that are in college right now, or even girls. When they're in college right now, you're gonna face some things. Alcohol. You become of age. Alcohol's a thing.
Sure, yeah.
The mixes. I mean, it's just a gathering, right? It's a lot of stuff that maybe you haven't experienced. What are some things that maybe you would have, if you had the opportunity, you would redo, or what you would have done differently to maybe have kind of changed the outcome of how college came out?
I think a few things. I would have been on a better food regimen. I feel like that was so underplayed back then. Because,
nutrition wasn't a huge thing for us. We ate like crap, bro. Late lunches all the time.
Bro, every training table we had rice, spam, eggs.
That, and then don't forget the chicken tenders.
Yes, that too. I mean, we had some fruit, but it was
At the end.
it was more rice. It was like, it didn't fit on the plate.
Yeah. And local mentality, right? Like that's just the stuff that we ate, right?
Right. I mean, it tasted great for sure. But I think that's one of them. Food regimen. I think the second thing is I would have been more focused on working out, taking it more seriously, and I think also taking it more seriously, understanding football, the game of football better. I was just so focused on my position where I didn't think the whole grand scheme mattered. If I took care of my thing, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I wish, if I can go back, I would do that. I would be more food regimen, workouts, and actually just been more serious. I just really let my athleticism do the work for me instead of being mentally stronger.
Yeah.
And I think those three things are the biggest thing that could have changed.
No, it's good though. I mean, because I like to ask that is because, like I said, we want to give people, advice and some things that they can take, because there's so many different age brackets that watch this podcast. For me, I think one of them is just, I wish I didn't work in college. In college, a lot of us, it's easy to go bounce at the nightclub or wherever, but you're staying up till 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Because everybody got to leave, got to get everybody out. And at that time, we had 6 o'clock workouts. Practice is 7 a.m., but our off season, 6 o'clock was our workouts. And I just kind of look back and I'm like, man, like, how much better of an athlete I would have been if we had a full night's rest, right?
For sure.
You're 100% on nutrition. Like, I don't think nutrition was such a, stress thing for us back then. It was just like, well, you guys got meals. Here's a card and you guys go buy. But we're eating like freaking Taco Bell at, main center stage or whatever it's called. Like Taco Bell and freaking chicken wings, and from Pizza Hut.
We were just happy because it was free food.
Yeah, like, and I think, right, like nowadays you see these big colleges, they have like nutritionists. They have like, no, this is where you're gonna eat.
Yeah, each position skill has a different.
I'm sure when you went to Dallas, right, like it was one of those things that like, oh, I didn't know, like people came in college, like that's how it was for us.
Yeah. Well, over there, it was just, they gave you everything.
Yeah.
But it was like a better spread for sure.
For sure, man.
But I wish I took that seriously back in college about nutrition, man. That would have really helped.
Yeah. That's a good tip. So brief history real quick. I lived up one floor above Peppa and Antoine, Tua, Mahaley, the homie from Carson. But I lived upstairs and I moved out of my dorm at the University of Hawaii. And I did that because we could collect, a little bit more money on the scholarship check monthly. So instead of moving home, I moved one floor downstairs. And ta-da! Found my way in the middle of Peppa and Tua's floor. Yeah. But man, we shared some good times, man.
It was definitely, man. That was I'm just thinking back now. I was like, man, we housed some homeless people for a few years. Yeah.
I feel like everybody that came into the room was homeless because where do I go tonight? Oh, I still sleep on your floor. Man, but it's so good. Man, thank you for making time. Coming off tour with Josh Totofi. Man, how long was that, man?
It took a while. Yeah. The first one we did was South Pacific tour, which started in August.
Yeah.
And that was like pretty much a month away from here. And but we covered Samoa, American Samoa, Western Samoa, Tonga. We did 3 shows in Australia. We did Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane. And then we went to New Zealand, did 3 shows.
Yeah.
Auckland, Christchurch, and Wellington. The beautiful thing about that is that we touched back home to our peoples. And I think that was the biggest thing for everyone, just to see, Josh's music and what all the boys have put into for that. And it was a beautiful thing because it was just, well, especially for me too, because it was going back home. It was a homecoming as well.
How was that? I mean, going to Samoa, I mean, because nice. I don't know if people know that you were born in Samoa.
Born in Western Samoa, and I grew up on both islands.
So how was that, just having that homecoming of yours,
Oh, it was great. It was great. It was just nostalgia. Everything just felt like, man, a lot of memories went through, when I was there. And I got to take the boys to Kongai at our family's house in American Samoa, which is nice, and got to see my grandma in Western Samoa and just a little time there back home. Yeah, it was real nice.
It's cool because you're from Samoa. Josh, his roots, I don't know if he was born, but his roots is in Tonga. So you guys, I'm sure, exchange, right? The hospitality.
He's
part.
Also he's part Samoan as well.
Oh, sure. I never knew that.
Yeah, his family's from Waikongi.
Okay.
In American Samoa, but I think he's Hawaii as well.
Oh, nice.
But he grew up in a Tongan household, but yeah.
So being, we'll definitely touch more into the tour later, but, going to the tour, I mean, you're a dad now, man.
Yeah, man.
You got to shout out baby girl, your wife.
Yeah, meet the girl and my wife, Tiare. It's definitely been a journey for both of us and all of us. And just seeing her, I got a little baby girl. She's almost,
hey, look at that
2.
blush. Hey, baby girl is in the in that special place, man.
God did that purposely. He was like, "You're gonna have a daughter first."
Settle your ass down.
You better relax.
Nah, man, she's such a cutie, man. I mean, shoot, splitting image of both of you guys. But how, I'm gonna jump right into it. Being on tour, because you guys were on tour how long total?
Well, especially from August, we
Yeah.
did a tour the whole month, and then we came home for a couple weeks, and then like Josh had to go to Fiji. I couldn't make that one.
Yeah.
But then right after that, he came back, and we went to Sacramento for Holo Holo. Holo Holo, we were there for the weekend, came back, flew out the next Thursday to back to Australia for Promised Land.
Yeah.
And then we were there for the weekend, flew back, and then we left Tuesday for the West Coast tour, which was another almost a month. It was like 3 weeks.
Because baby girl's a little over a year now, right? She's a year and a half now?
She turns 2 in April.
Yeah, so I mean, she's a year and a half. I mean, you guys are still I still consider you guys young. We're all young.
Well,
man.
yeah,
You know, the
sure.
joints is still working. I mean, we feel
Right,
young.
right.
But how's that dynamic? Because you're always gone. I mean, that's just with Josh, and you know,
sure.
you have your own,
For sure.
independent brand and your
Right,
name
right.
to push. And so, how's that with all the travel?
It's definitely it takes a toll on the family because that time that you're gone is really needed at home as well, especially with a
she's so
newborn.
young, yeah,
right,
you know.
right. So like every time I always FaceTime, you know, and like that's just the best we can do is to keep talking to her. But like when my wife's at home, just always her and baby. There's a certain section of growth where like I feel like I missed because when I came back home, like she was still laka to her mom.
Mom, yeah.
Yeah, so like it's always, and I'm like, man, I feel like I missed certain sections of that.
How do you pull yourself out of that? Because a lot of people can feel guilt, right? Like, oh, I feel guilty, like, but you're paying the bills. I mean, it's a living, and it's an experience that doesn't last forever.
For sure.
So like you gotta, make sure you hone in on this time and really maximize this opportunity. But how do you pull yourself back and just be like, you know what, I gotta get all this guiltiness and just understand like this is kind of the process right now for us.
For sure. I mean, everyone deals with it differently, you know. I mean, for us, for one thing is like, you know, as long as me and my wife are on the same page, you know, of course, like keeping God first in our life because with Him and through Him, that's what keeps us together, you know.
Preach.
No, and
preach.
that's real though because like, you know, it wasn't the easiest, you know. There's hard times for sure for both of us because now, you know, sometimes money isn't even worth it.
Yeah.
You know, time is the currency. And that's more important, you know, that you can't buy that back either.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's sacrifices on both ends for sure. But then there's also, you know, positives that you get from it. But, you know, it's still hard.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, one thing that I love though is Tiara, she brings baby to your gigs, especially down here, and baby's rocking out. You know, I got to come and, watch some gigs. Don't remember the ending of them, but but we have a good time. But I see the videos of baby just rocking out, and there's probably no better feeling than that, right?
No,
Seeing
there
baby
isn't.
girl.
Man. Yeah. Because when my wife was pregnant with Lemiti, like she was always coming to the gigs, and like when she was born, she was the only baby allowed in there because it's you have to be 21 and over.
Exactly.
And then now she's
not
still
even 21 days.
And then now like she's the only baby still. Sometimes like she was walking in, she was just go to Steven.
Gotta do it.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Shout out Stephen Harris.
Yeah, but Steve.
No, but that's cool, man. Like I just know like there's no better feeling than seeing your baby girl and your wife out there, just supporting you. And they come to a lot of the gigs.
Yeah, they do. They do. Last night they came. They came.
That's one thing I admire about you is that even with the schedule with Josh, you still are gigging. I mean, pretty much every day, every night.
Yeah,
and
every night.
It goes. I mean, you play it till like what, 2:00 in the morning?
No.
No.
I think the latest ones. I don't think we really have those kind of gigs. I don't know what gigs you're talking about.
Shh, nah.
No, the latest ones I have are only on Wednesdays because we finish at 11:30.
Okay.
So by the time we finish packing up, it's 12:00. And you
See what happened? I think it was talking story, and then we went to go eat, and
right.
2:00. It's just
But now it's a system now. Like as soon as 11:30, I'm packing up. I'm just ready to go home.
Shoot the deuces. I'm out.
Yeah.
My fams. That's cool, man. But for a lot of people that don't maybe know your history or know your story, like was music always something? I know the story, but explain your music journey because it wasn't just like you picked it up at 19 or 20 years old. It was something that you was around your whole life.
Yeah, well, I didn't really know I was musically inclined, but I remember like growing up in Samoa, I was always infatuated with like on Sundays, I would always sit next to the choir because I always wanted to sing.
Yeah.
I didn't know I could sing. I probably wasn't even singing properly either, but like
Yeah.
I just knew I loved music. And then it wasn't until I moved to LA where my dad started teaching me get how to play guitar and stuff. So I wanted to be, and from there it was cool, you know, because I had an ear, and it just helped me just to hone in on my craft, you know.
Tell people, because you don't read music. I mean, as long as I knew you, you just listened for a little bit and you could just pick things
Well,
up.
yeah.
I mean, no, I don't sound like a hater. I'm just letting you know.
Right. Yeah, dust the dog.
We'll get into that story
Right.
too.
No, I don't read music like charts, but like now I can, like, if it says ABC, you know, whatever, I can read that.
I was always amazed with that. Like, you could just, like, at the mixes or just when everybody's around, like, bro, you just be, but the next, you know, a whole freaking song and just a melody come on, be like, damn, dog.
Yeah. I mean, it was a thing, you know, and I feel like there's a few of us that can sing too, which is nice at UH. Actually, a lot of people sing. Lafu, Fale, Mike.
Nah, just leave me out.
Tala.
One thing I always laugh So one thing I always laugh with Peppo is that when I lived with him in Antoine, we was like three amigos because Peppo could sing. So I'd always laugh because I was like, man, this guy's stealing the attention again. You know, bring out the guitar and just, man, he just melt people, everybody around him. Antoine was that caramel, luscious, chocolate looking dude, like. Just, and you know, I had the mouthpiece though, you know, but Peppo would always give me crap about. So he beats me in tattoos. So back when we were in college, he had no tattoos, and I remember I got my first tattoo. Hey, but you can explain the story.
Yeah,
you know, explain the story. But we be going. This guy would hate it. Like when I first got my first tattoo.
Well, it's because Rocky. Okay, so this is what happened. So Rocky would go out and be like telling me, "So what's the name of your tattoo?" I was like, "Does he mean anything?" He's like, "Actually," and I'm like, "Oh my god." Here it is. So this is my dad's name, close to somebody, close to my Lord and my heart. And I was like, "That's the down." I was like, "You sound like he was rapping."
Hey, you know, I mean, I had to compete with, you know, this dude just, you know, mesmerizing girls. One sings. I was like, man, I have to find my avenue, you know. But now you got tatted up, you know. I mean, this conversation today is gonna be all over. It's not, you know, it's one of those, like, we have so much to talk about, but you know, like, our time at UH was special, man. Like, I don't think UH would ever be the same just because of the dynamics of things, you know.
Yeah, it's very different now, man.
Like,
you know,
I mean, just the times that we shared. Drop some facts. So 06, 07 was a better team. And this is for all the boys because 06.
I would say 06 is best.
Why?
We had a better line.
Yeah?
Better line. We had better that senior class in 06 too. Like say they were juniors.
Yeah.
And we went to 07, and that it would have been I think we would have had a better game against Georgia for sure.
So if you're watching out there, you're like, what's 06, 07? So our 2006 team was, I don't think, because 05 wasn't the greatest year, right? And then 06,
that was Coach's first year.
Coach year as a starter.
Yeah.
But we were demolishing guys, and we were just true redshirt freshmen. So, you know, Peppo and I got to get into some games sparingly as freshmen, got to play, but we got to make our road trips. And that team, I think, because people didn't know how good we were going to be, we were just rolling. I mean, I think we beat Fresno 70 points to 20 or something like that.
Some crazy number.
Utah State, Nate's going off. I mean, it was truly fun, like a fun time because we were just like rolling through teams. You know, and I think there's like 2 or 3 teams that we lost by maybe like 2 points or 3 points or less.
Yeah,
right?
06 we lost to Oregon State and Boise.
So bringing up Oregon State, you originally, Peppo wasn't going to come to Hawaii. You was originally, because your quarterback in high school went to Oregon State.
Yeah. So, Lau went to El Camino first. But I went to UH with Antoine, and then
no, but you were committed, or you was already set to go to Oregon State, right?
I was committed to UH, but then I went to Oregon State. I went to their what's it called? I did a trip there.
Oh yeah, recruiting trip. Yeah.
And I was gonna go there as a DN. So Coach Mike Cavanaugh, which was here at UH, you know, he was a great O-line coach that just
for sure
put out studs, you know, into the NFL. And he was just like, you know, Laupepa, I heard you gotta go to Oregon State, and I don't think you want to go there.
Yeah.
Orange and black, not really my thing, And he was like, "You come over here, UH, I'll turn you into an NFL player." And I was like, "Oh shoot, okay, you know what? All right." I signed a letter of intent. Freaking a month later, my man hit me up. He was like, "Hey, Laupepa."
Midstream adjust on this
I'm
one.
so sorry. I'm still, transferring schools. I was like, "Oh, friend."
Well, thank you.
He goes, I was like, "Where you going?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm going to Oregon State."
Damn, coach.
I was like,
I didn't go there to come to you, and then you bounce and go over there.
and I was hit by the car.
Ba-boom, bah. How was that though? I mean, like,
No, yeah, I was salty for sure, man. And I was like, "Friend, I could have been over there already, but he didn't know.
Yeah.
We both didn't know. So
how do you feel with all this? I mean, like, because the college game is so.
Are you
different.
kidding me? Don't leave it, man.
Bro? We got to get into it because
with
NIL,
with the portal,
bro. Portal, NIL. I mean, this is good because we have experience, right? We went through a time where scholarship checks. I mean, but we didn't get money. We didn't get cars. Everybody sees all the fancy stuff, but I mean, we was eating Simon and cereal. You know what I mean? Up in the dorms, like that was our budget. We thought we had to end this credit card until they said like, oh no, there's a limit, and then you got to make it the rest of the semester, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is your thoughts about this game? Because coaches are always, jumping to new opportunities. Players, what is your thoughts, man?
I mean, we were just talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
I think
Spit some game. Spit some game.
No, I'm just talking about like, man, these kids nowadays. Man, I saw old saying that too, man.
Nowadays.
Back
Well, we
in
are
that
like,
day.
what, 15 years out of college?
14.
15. Yeah. Damn, man. Can you still do a 220?
Once.
We used to have this conditioning test at UH. Well, I think it was 8 or 10.
10
220s. So it's pretty much, if you don't know football, it's from one goal line or one end to the other
end,
and back in like, I think it was for like 38 seconds for us.
No, well, I think so. But then you had to, our rest break was 2 minutes.
Yeah,
which was good.
Yeah, until the ass is on fire and everything's burning and clenching up. You can't even stand at the end. But man, like, I can't even believe we could run like that back then.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, what do you think about this game nowadays? I mean,
now it's so cool because like when you go into the portal, you don't have to lose a year.
Yeah,
I don't know when they stopped doing that.
There's so much stuff that changed nowadays.
Yeah.
I can't even keep up with. Man.
Well, it started with like once we started. Did you get your check for the NCAA?
No, because I didn't even.
You didn't even
procrastination, and I missed the cutoff.
Oh snap!
I gotta share a story though, because when we lived together, so me and Peppa, we thrived in procrastination. This is one of those things that we just got to be honest, because there's, you future athletes out there, just do it. Antoine was great. Tua was great. As soon as that teacher gave that assignment, okay, in 3.5 weeks, we got this 30-page paper due.
Yeah.
Tua would go literally that day and start working on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what we was doing. And then it would be me and Peppa literally the night before. Like, I remember that night that we set up 10 Simons. We had the cereals.
We had like 5 monsters each, which is probably bad for you. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Drink Rain, though, if you guys got a shout out to Rain.
Hey.
You like that plug? No, but we had, man, I think we fell asleep with the cereal, with all the food.
And we woke up with 1 page done, I think.
And 29 pages done between 8 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. before that class. But if there's something that you take upon that lesson, when you're told to do something or given an opportunity, go
do it right away.
And that's one thing, Twan, man. I always gave Twan that. He always was on it. I don't know. I think even to this day, I had a conversation with a friend. I was like, man, I think I thrive in that pressure. But everybody tells me, why do you need that pressure to do it?
To push you. Why can't you just do it?
But, yeah.
I don't want to blame our genetics.
Is it culture?
No.
But it's one of those things, man. It's just like, damn, why can't I do that from the get-go,
Right.
But what do you think about the money, man, nowadays?
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah?
Like these kids, some of them are getting millions.
Millions and millions of dollars.
What's that kid, Prince of Oregon?
Oh, Dylan Gabriel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Dylan, man. Hey, you might be a Heisman winner, man. That's
Yeah,
so
I mean,
dope.
you're in. I mean, I don't know when this episode's going to tune, but I mean, you're in, I think, the top four.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Him,
another
Gency,
Hoy.
Travis Hunter, and someone else.
Who you picking?
I don't know, man. Gency really, he showed up this
Bro,
year.
that's production, bro. I mean, you're hitting like 200 something yards a game.
What's the record for rushing yards?
I don't know. I mean, when I was playing running back,
Right.
when I was playing running back, I don't know, but yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, I mean, off of production, I'd say him. I mean, as a dynamic and special player, you got to go with Travis Hunter.
Right.
I
mean, no one.
But
no one's
but if you're a local boy, you're rooting for Dylan
for
Gabriel.
for sure.
Yeah, and the other guy, next time.
Yeah. So talking about Dylan, I just heard so he went to UCF, then he went to Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, like 6 years. I think he's 6 years in college.
It's crazy, huh?
Yeah, like I mean, I think there's some guys that's been in college for like 8 to 9 years. The way they got their medical, the COVID back to back, and all that stuff. I'm like, how much better would you have been if you had that much experience in college?
Shit, I don't even know, bro. I mean, with that money now, it's so crazy. I can't even compare it to what we had. It was such a different time.
Yeah. I mean, I think really back then, I think one thing that I say that the teams nowadays will miss out on is how close we were.
Yeah.
Like the camaraderie, that brotherhood, like because we spent so much time together and you knew like, okay, as juniors, we're going to be seniors next year, or like this is the team that's coming back.
Right.
Nowadays, like, shoot, you get 10, 15 guys transferring out, new guys coming in. Like, I mean, I miss the times in the locker room. Like talking with you today, it really brings back the good memories that we had that I think people don't see. After practice, sitting hours in the locker room, some of the alumni come out and we're just talking story, man. Like they just, tell us the experience of their times. But, what I remember you coming down and saying that something stood out about UH when you came down. On your trip, it was a mix, and it was just that camaraderie.
Yeah, naturally, because I was a musician already too. Mm-hmm. And what was cool is that like I just felt at home, kind of vibe.
Yeah,
with like my brothers, kind of naturally, because like at the school I was at, it was only Lao. We had like a handful of polys on our team, But for me coming over here, was just everybody was poly.
85, 90% of the team is all polys,
And that was a cool feeling, And for me, it just felt like home. And I have a lot of family here, yourself included, that we found out later.
Yeah.
And but it was cool because it just naturally happened. Mm-hmm. And that's why I remember, because Coach Mike Cavanaugh was still calling me about coming freshman year. He was like, you know what? Just take the year, bite the year, come to Oregon State.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's like a lot already. I'm already here. I'm settled. I'm gonna have to do like a whole nother moving thing. Goodbyes and whatever, and then reintroduced to a new system or whatever like that. But coulda, shoulda, woulda, man. But God put us in the place that we're supposed to be. I feel like
I like that
because of that.
Yeah.
Off the field, I got to meet a lot of the boys through the mix. Yeah. Like musicians, like all the my music plug was CLC, so CLC introduced me to everybody else, Hot Rain and Longa, and from there I met everybody. Yeah. Uncle Feej, Bugs. That was dope.
That's good though, because you're looking at things like, I could have went this route, but man, like I was blessed.
Right.
I mean, because even like the Josh situation, like you guys was mixing. I mean, shout out to Petty because she was our RA, our resident manager. Before all that, but like you were blessed to mix along and
yeah. Well, and that's how we created that relationship with Josh, because we met him when he was like 16.
Yep, and he would just because his sister was at UH.
Yeah, so he'll come over in the summer and then he'll just kick it with us. But everyone thinks he's on the football team.
Bill, I always wonder why he never pursued football.
No, he went to Colorado State.
Oh, did you guys know that?
Yeah.
Josh Tatofi went to Colorado. I had no clue.
He was a center.
Yeah?
Yeah. He did a couple years over there, and then I think he came back one Christmas, and then like they were like, hey, let's do, you guys, we'll do your album. And he was like, I'm going to stay.
So how, I mean, going kind of fast forwarding, like, the environment at UH, there's so much that we can talk about, but you got to make it to the Dallas Cowboys, and had a stint there. At what point, did that finish off where you're like, okay, football is closing and, I'm going to focus on music right now?
Well, to be honest, like when I got to Dallas, like remember in college I was hurt like every year.
Yeah.
Something was like I was just like, what the heck, man?
Yeah.
I'll work my way to
Leg,
start,
hand, yeah.
and then I'll get hurt somewhere in the beginning of the year, and I'm just like, man.
And to give Peps his flowers, you came in as a true athlete because this dude was, I think, like you probably were like 260, I think, but running like the same as receivers. Like it was pretty. Like, damn, dog.
Oh,
like,
trust me, I was tripping out myself.
Yeah, like I mean, and your focus, I mean, was undeniable. Like, but it was the injuries, one after the other, and you finally get into a position. And I remember you breaking your wrist, your hand had to be casted up, missed out, and then something else happened. I think, right?
Yeah, the year after I tore my I had like hamstring problems. The year after that, tore my patella tendon. The year after that, fractured my ankle. I was like, hey, what's next?
Yeah.
No, but what happened was when I was at Dallas, like I literally, like, man, after every practice, I just felt my body was just like, yo.
Yeah.
I felt every injury that I had throughout football, and I was just like,
how heavy were you? Because I don't but that plays a toll too, like carrying that much weight. You know what I mean? And I mean, you're playing against grown men.
Yeah. At 1,000 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would say I was about 315, 320.
Damn, that's pretty good. Because you got all the way up to like what, 350?
Well, during college, 350 was my heaviest, and then they, coach put me on a program. I had to lose some weight.
Side note: if you could build the best offensive tackle, well, who would it be? If you could take parts of people,
man,
even back in the day, some players back in the day.
Shoot, man.
IQ. Let's start with IQ. If you IQ, who would you pick?
I would use Jeff Saturday's IQ.
Ooh,
as a tackle.
Yeah,
because he just reads defense very easily, and then like maybe Tyron Smith, because I played with Tyron at Dallas.
He was a freak of nature.
He was a freak of nature.
Yeah.
And my man had a six-pack.
I know, bro.
And
like
he goes, man, don't you hate it when your abs show? I was like, what the heck did you say?
I'm still looking for mine. It's somewhere under there.
And he goes, don't you hate that? I was like, I know. Every day. Jeez.
Mainly problems. This guy. Bro, I swear, some of the guys on our team could like lift for like one workout and like every vein and every muscle cut would show. Man. And we'd show up for a whole summer and still look almost the same.
Yeah.
But let's push your numbers though. But yeah, so Tyron Smith, Jeff Saturday, demeanor, just that freaking dog mentality.
Oh boy, for the Niners. The left tackle for the Niners.
Left tackle. I'm gonna have to come back on that one. Then he can pull it up. He's gonna pull it up mid-interview. Who is it?
Oh man,
we'll take a TV time.
Trent Williams.
Trent. Oh yes, dog.
That boy is a dog.
I mean, he came to Hawaii throwing some haymakers too. I heard, in this. I mean, he is that dog mentality, but yeah, he's a beast, man.
Watching him play is like athleticism wise, it's freaky. It's a freak of nature, man. Yeah.
Nice, man. So, we know who your perfect offensive tackle or what it would look like. So now that football, like pretty much just the pain and just the injuries kind of compile, it hits you. At what point how did the transition to the music part now kind of hit up?
Well, after I got released, I just, all my injuries, man, I just felt like I don't know if my body can actually handle
it.
Yeah.
And you're still young, bro. Like you're probably mid-20s at the time.
Yeah. I was 24, and I was just like, my body was just like, yo, because when I broke my hand before I went to Dallas.
Oh shoot!
Because I was at Arena, because that year was the lockout. So the lockout.
Oh yeah, because that's the same year. Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't have OTAs. We didn't have summer camp. So my uncle was like, "Hey, you should play Arena. Just sticking to football."
Uncle Larry.
Uncle Larry.
Yeah, he was your agent.
Leo.
Yeah, Uncle Leo.
Yeah. And so I went up to Spokane. I was in Washington. I got to play over there. My first day there, we're doing one-on-ones. I was doing well, and I was like, man, I'm about to do really well in Arena football.
Yeah.
And then last one-on-one, freaking my right hand just snapped it.
Damn.
Yeah, the middle carpal.
Oh.
When I was a doctor.
The medical, Metacarpo.
Metacarpo.
Oh man.
No, yeah.
Oh, so you was injured before you went to Dallas.
Yeah.
See, I never knew that.
Bro, you know what sucked too is like
So you didn't really get to really show, like, come into camp where that 100%, huh?
so like everyone's books when you go to a team, they have your medical.
Oh yeah,
sheets.
the history, medical history.
So like mine was like this. It was like,
Here, Laupepa, here's your.
it's an encyclopedia for you.
That's crazy. If you guys didn't know that either, like when you're in college, I mean, they already start really putting things together, and like you have this book that has, I mean, pretty much the time that you go to the training room, what they looked at. I mean, that's over a 4-year period and 5 years sometimes. But that's crazy because like man, they take stats on everything, man.
And I was like, a month later after I broke my hand, it was still in a cast. So I ended up playing arena with a cast on.
Damn.
And then the lockout lifted, and they were like, "Oh, the Cowboys want you." And I was like, "Shoot, well, I'm not gonna show up there with a cast on."
Yeah.
So I cut it off.
Oh damn.
Yeah, but I could barely make a fist. So I was like,
"Hey, but the opportunity's there."
Right, and
like,
I was like, you know what? I might as well.
Because I mean, that was being in the NFL a childhood dream.
Definitely was.
Yeah.
And I was just blessed to be there, man. It was so cool that I got to even make it in the first place. And that experience was amazing, man. I just never, this is how it is, you know. I know it wasn't like how it is with everybody else because of the lockout. You know, I literally had like 2 weeks before we had our first preseason game to learn the playbook. And then the playbook was like
crazy. I mean, I remember my experience with the Niners. I just went for rookie camp with the Niners, and bro, like we didn't even get to our first practice, and like after the first meeting, the dude in the locker next to me was gone, and they brought somebody else in. And I was like, damn. But I mean, you know, from a business standpoint, they want exactly what they want in the NFL, you know?
Exactly.
So it was cool to see that, like, you know, and just how like detailed the NFL is. So moving to the music, you know, with the Cowboys, just, okay, that's done. The music, how did that start picking up for you? I mean, because you're always playing. You were always playing.
So at home in LA, I just started playing with my dad. We started playing at Disneyland.
Yeah.
So that's where I started to get a lot of my chops down. And then slowly, that's when Tanel hit me up to start playing with her. And then, which was cool. I got to slowly get my name out there, you know, and just be a part of the scene.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
How important is the scene? Like, just because?
Well, because I didn't really know how to even start, but I knew a lot of people. Like I knew a lot of the boys from Common Kings.
Yeah.
Before their
Shout
Common
out to the
Kings.
Kings.
Shout out to the Kings and the boys. So shout out to Tanel too. She hooked me up. Like I started playing with her, and then I played for Sammy J for a little bit, like couple gigs, and then I was playing with my other friend Susie. Her name was Estelle, so that was cool.
Oh yeah, because you guys came out with that music video. I remember that. Yeah, that was pretty dope.
That was pretty cool. Playing at Mai Tais in Long Beach.
Yeah,
that was a good time.
How was that you know, that moment in time? Because like, you know, you wasn't a dad. I mean, you just in the scene. Like, how was that? That's probably fast paced though.
It was. At that time, I was in the Kava stage. You know, I have my Kalapu back in Norwalk.
Shout them out. Shout them out.
Kalapu Direta Field.
Oh, yeah, that's the logo, right?
Yes, sir. That's right.
Hey, that's how much I know you. You know, that's how much I know you.
My story. You know,
shout out to Westafa.
Yeah, brother Westafa. He's out in, I think, Jamaica right now.
Yeah, they got that the tour coming. I mean that the boat cruise, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, since you mentioned the Kalapu, kind of just give a brief, you know, like how that started, and just, you know, shout out the, you know, they get their time right now, you know.
I think we're actually going on like 12 years now.
Damn.
Anniversary, 13 maybe. We started the Kalapu at our friend's house, Niwa and the family. Everyone knew each other and stuff, and it was a lot of the boys from and the cousins, pretty much, and then their affiliate friends and stuff that they were mixing, and then some boys were drinking, and then we kind of just started slowly turning into a proper Kalapu, just mixing only.
When you say proper, I mean,
well, in the sense of not mixing alcohol and like, you know,
like me that one time came for your birthday. This guy called me up. Hey, come to the house. It's my birthday. Come to the house. Can you leave your cooler inside your truck?
No. I never said that.
No, but it was because everybody else was mixing. And I was just like, yeah.
Well, better. You know that one drunk guy at every party, he's still on that.
No. Put your shirt back on. Oh, your pants too. No. No, but no, yeah, that's cool, man. So
No,
so pretty much
so
everybody
we
makes this.
started it, and it was cool because it was like Samoans and Tongans, so it was and we wanted to,
And that's good, man, because that's
yeah,
bridging the gap,
especially
right?
that, and that was the, and what our Kalapu was pretty much envisioned was hope for our fellow Polynesians, in
That's dope.
LA and or anywhere for that matter. But we were known as the musical Kalapu in the beginning, which was cool because had me, Jay Strings, my friend Freddie Roots. He's also an artist from LA, and it was a good time for us to create something that it was unheard of for young
Yeah.
polys.
I don't think people know that about like the Kalapus, right? People just think, oh, these guys mix kava and stay up all night, but it's the meaning, right? Because people like your guys selves start a Kalapu for a purpose, right? And there's all these talents that come along, but it's also like, man, like you can't beat like because I feel a part of the Kalapu is the stories that come out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And Polynesians are known as some of the greatest storytellers, like
Yeah.
and in those mixes, you have that friendship, that chemistry, and all of that. Like that's so dope that it came out, like that. So Kalapu's still going strong.
Kalapu's still going strong. Yeah, it's amazing, man. The boys are still there. A lot of boys, the original crew, moved to different states, started their own family, which is still cool.
Yeah.
But everyone still keeps in touch with the boys back home. What's new? We started other brother Kalapus in Reno. We have one in Orange County.
So what you call chapters?
Chapters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one in
Yeah.
Vegas.
That's dope, man.
So it's cool, man. It's good to see the boys still
Going
holding it
strong
on.
and
Yeah.
that's dope, man. So how did this so with the Kalapu starting, you got your boys networking, you're gigging, right?
Yeah.
How did this, I guess, this dream team that you guys call, like how did that link up? I mean, because you already had history with Josh, but
Right.
how did it, because you're also doing things independently. So how
Right.
did this all kind of materialize?
So I was with Nonocino, shout out Nonocino in Anaheim. We had our first our second Mary Monarch. We did Hoike night, and that was 2016.
That's that first night, right? There everybody
That's
comes
the
and just,
Wednesday night. Yeah,
it's-
so the Wednesday night is usually you have it's called a Hoike night. You have different like you can have Tahitian groups come or different like Maori
Samoan groups, yeah,
Samoan
all-
groups. Yeah. So we went over there and I seen Josh, and then Josh and me was like, "Bro, I'm with Uncle Sean." And Uncle Sean Nawal
Noel,
is my family member, is my uncle. So he hit me up. I went to go see what's up, and he was like, "Man, what are you doing back home?" I
Yeah.
was like, "Bro, I'm just playing music at Disneyland and mixing."
Can't leave that part out.
yeah, right. But he was like, "Bro, I'm about to release a Hawaiian album." I was
Yeah.
like, "Cool, man."
Oh, it was that time.
Yeah, it was 20 because he just released Pukele at the time. Pukele was already out, I think, a year or something like that, and then just a song as a single, and then that was April. And then when I came back to LA, April, May, June, like Josh was texting me like every week. He was like, "Tux,
Come on, man.
come on down.
I need you.
Yeah. And I was just like, I thought that was cool, and I wanted to be part of something to create. And I moved down in June.
I remember when you came in because I picked you up. You were out at what was that Luau Jermaine's? Remember when you first came down? Oh yeah.
You picked me up?
Yeah, I remember you was playing at that show, that Luau. This is in fact the first time you came back to Hawaii.
Oh, I was at
Wasn't it a
Model
Luau?
Production.
Yeah, and then I came pick you up on the west side that one time, crash at the house.
Oh, you picked me up at Paradise Cove.
Yes. Yeah, that was a different time. Okay, never mind.
I wasn't thinking of that. I got dropped off there so you could pick me up there.
So the start of that connection, right? Looking back now, did you ever imagine that it would be as big as it has been?
No. But I also see where I'm just shocked, bro. I'm just, because I love where the progression has been.
Yeah.
And just being a part of it, to me, is
Yeah.
just a blessing in itself, man. It's really dope. And what's cool is that, like, Duck started off with the Hawaiian music first. And
Yeah.
we released 2 albums, and just learning that was a whole different dynamic for me, because I didn't. If you asked me 10 years ago, like, you play Hawaiian music? I'm like, I mean, I do, but I don't.
This guy can jam Hanalei Moon like no other though. I mean, he lucky he didn't bring his guitar. I would put him on the
But
spot.
I'm also part Hawaiian, So like for me, it was just a whole nother love for Hawaiian music, and I loved it.
Do you feel like it kind of brought you closer to your,
Yeah, it
connecting
definitely
to the
did. It
roots, the
definitely
culture,
did.
and all that
It
stuff?
definitely did, and I love that too because like I love all my ethnicities.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just a whole new open and outlook for Hawaiian music, and then like now I have such a bigger appreciation for it,
Yeah.
and who were the pioneers for Hawaiian music, and that helped me throughout that musically as well.
When you guys got into Hawaiian music, or when Josh was getting into Hawaiian music, and you guys really kind of, because I mean, that album was fire. I mean, that was just kind of the lane because nobody was kind of doing it. I mean, people do Hawaiian music, but I would say like a younger generation.
He was a first of its kind to have a different outlook,
Yeah.
on or interpretation of Hawaiian music, but he just wrote it in the way he felt right, and it just sounded good, and and he just a whole new different avenue of Hawaiian music came out, which is special, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's dope. One thing I do love is man, because you guys are called the Dream Team. And like you guys all bring a skill and just like a personality, right? Like and I've read it in the comments at times. People are just like, man, like maybe when you guys can't make it to a gig, it's not the same. Just because you guys all add like a special thing.
Yeah.
But this is called the Village HI podcast, and one thing it's about inspiration, elevation, and empowerment. And one thing that I like to focus on is like overcoming, right? So you're an independent artist yourself, right?
Yeah.
And do you find, you've been blessed with opportunities, in this partnership or this group with Josh, but how is it, being an independent person? Because when you guys are not gigging together, you're on the grind for yourself, pushing your own name and your own brand. Yeah. And it's something that, you've been around pretty much your whole life.
Yeah.
How's that struggle?
I mean, it's not really a struggle. I think I got blessed with starting right before COVID.
Yeah.
I had one gig, which was Surf Jack, in Waikiki, which is a great place to play at. And then when COVID hit, like music kind of stopped. So everyone's doing
everybody had to
everything
stay home.
online.
Yeah.
Yeah. Virtual concerts, virtual shows, and stuff like that. That sucked. And then slowly, I think everyone had to restart getting their gigs when they can. So I played at this one spot. Johnny Sweet. He asked me to cover. Thank you, Johnny.
Shout
He
out.
hooked me up for Merriman's, and then I've been there since.
Yeah.
Which is dope. And then I slowly added places Monday, Tuesday,
You're
Wednesday,
the Beachcomber, right? You're the
Thursday. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite spots, though. Is the Beachcomber.
Well, we moved now.
Oh yeah, because it's a hideout now.
It's called the Secret Spot.
Oh, Secret Spot.
It's on the other side, Uncle Hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Same owners.
Same owners.
Shout out to Royce.
Yeah,
he's always
Royce
shows
and
love.
John.
Yeah.
It's a great spot, man. We play there tonight, actually.
And so how's that? I mean, you're gigging and pretty much every night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 5 days, 6 days a week.
Yeah, 4 to 5, which are public gigs. I mean, regular gigs in Waikiki, and then you have weekend gigs or private gigs. So those are sporadic. So it's not technically every day, but you'll have some gigs you'll have two times a day, and then one day you'll have off. So those days are nice just to have off with the family. And
Yeah. How's that balance though, right? Though, because it's like you're constantly gigging like for yourself, and then you're part of the Dream Team with Josh. Like, how's that balance of like, oh man, this is kind of maybe stretching me in two different ways,
No, not at all.
Yeah?
Well, I don't feel that way. I mean, I get it, but I think because I love what I do,
Let's go.
it's never really work. It's a bubble that I get to really musically show and be a part of and create. And it's when you always have that, it's never work. You kind of look forward to it, to be honest. Like when I play with me and Steven always play together Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesdays with a full group, but we look forward to it because we always create new ways of playing a song, or and it's always amazing. And then on the weekends, usually now,
because you guys added. I mean, first it started with just you, and then you added Steven, right? You and Steven did things, and now you guys got like a whole band going.
That's
right?
only on Wednesdays.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So Monday, Tuesday is just a duo, but which is nice because it's two different kind of flavors.
Yeah,
you play more island style stuff. More Hawaiian music.
Hit him with that R&B though sometimes.
Of course,
oh man,
I'm gonna give you a playlist. Man,
my shirt coming off.
No.
I don't know if the crowd likes it, but I'm just saying. No, but that's dope how you guys evolved into that group, you know?
Yeah, and I love it because it's a win-win for me. You know, I
Yeah.
get to do my stuff with Steven, and then I get to do
And you get to build a team, right?
yeah,
I mean, your own team
yeah,
too.
get build our own team.
Do you have a goal for yourself? You know, even like you just at our age, we're getting older, and as a scene as it continues to go, do you have like still a goal like that you want to reach? Yourself.
Yeah, I think for me, it's always still at least release an album is one of my things,
Yeah.
and I feel like I really procrastinated
Mm.
on this too because I was always busy with so many other things.
Yeah.
You know, kind of put my stuff in the back burner,
Yeah.
which is fine, but I feel like I still procrastinate enough because there is still enough time for me to release it.
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, it's up to you how
Yeah, for
much you want to
sure.
put it out,
That's good.
or there are certain times of contentment where I feel like I'll get it to it later,
Yeah.
and getting always saying that that window closes real quick.
What do you think is a kick in your butt that's gonna make you get it done? Like a call to action for yourself?
You know, we're not getting younger,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Mm.
Um, Sure, I didn't tell you we're actually
Oh,
moving in January,
to where?
and it's going to Samoa.
Damn. What? How did that? I mean, that's
Well,
bro.
that because when we went for the South Pacific tour,
Yeah.
got to see my grandmother, and I just was like, man, it's only her, my auntie at home,
Mm.
and
And that's the one that raised you, right? So I mean,
yeah,
you always will
yeah,
have that special
yeah,
bond
that's
with grandma.
mom's,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
it's grandma, but
Yeah.
mom's
Yeah.
too.
For sure.
But I kind of wanted to. It was kind of just out of nowhere, I just prayed about it and talked to my wife about it, and I think it'd be a great place for my daughter to grow up for now.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna take music,
A little
take a
break.
break
Yeah.
for the year,
Yeah.
and I want to reestablish that probably in the following year.
You never know too though, because going back home, going to Samoa, being around your grandma, your auntie, you never know. You might give you a newfound purpose.
For sure.
You know?
And I think that's what was needed too for me because I think may have been a certain point of I don't know, a certain not I'm trying to find the word, but just not I couldn't really find my purpose
Yeah, yeah.
almost.
Like it wasn't flowing, like, and it just wasn't
Yeah,
as clear, right? As
yeah,
a
or
picture.
also on my own flow.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think this year will be a great year of learning, a year of service for sure.
I like that, man.
To take care of my family, my grandmother and stuff, but it's gonna be cool, man.
And spend time,
Spend time for sure with the
especially
family.
with your loved ones, man.
Yeah,
Hey, touching upon the you dropping in an album, I remember. I'm gonna rewind this a little bit, but you made a song called Wildfires, right?
yeah.
But during this time of Wildfire, when you were gonna release it, it was around the same time as the Lahaina fires, correct? And I mean, bro, you couldn't have picked a title as
Oh
closest
my
to a
gosh.
traumatic situation like that. But there's something that I admired that you did because I think a lot of people in that situation would have found ways to drop the song.
Right.
But you came out, he's like, man, it just wasn't fitting, like with all the heaviness and all the tragic that went on
Yeah.
with the Lahaina fires. Like you kind of pulled the song and put it on hold, right?
Yeah, I did. I think I released it like a month and a half later.
Yeah.
And I almost kind of wanted, I think I felt like I just released it kind of just, without a, hey,
Yeah,
come,
yeah,
come,
yeah.
get my song away. Because it's still kind of fresh.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
a
when
month
people,
later.
because when people are releasing songs, they're like building these hype videos,
For
they're
sure.
building this
Yeah,
momentum, and
yeah.
it's hard because you have to be almost like empathetic to the
For
situation,
sure.
right?
For sure.
How was
And
that for
it
you?
just, well, it didn't sit right with me. It just didn't feel right.
Yeah,
And I was just like, bro, the name of the song is Wildfire. And I'm just like, that would be so pilau
yeah,
if I release it
yeah,
while that's happening. And I'm like, bro,
yeah,
like, frick off.
yeah,
Like, it's common sense.
yeah.
And I just,
How do you feel emotionally? I mean, just because it's like the name and just like with all like just because also too, there's a time in the studio, there's a time and there's the money aspect, right? Of
Yeah.
it. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So it's not like it's just easy, like, she's not gonna release it. Like that, like man, like I was building up for this,
right.
But how was that emotionally for you?
I mean, it sucked for
Yeah.
sure, obviously. But then, like, what was happening was more important than what I was feeling.
Hmm.
Um, that was such a devastation
Yeah.
for our peoples, you know, especially in the islands here. And there's nothing to compare to
Yeah.
even a song. I was like, frick your song.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to release it either. But you know, I wanted to wait maybe until everything kind of went, you know,
Yeah.
calmed down a little bit. And then I released it after. But you know, it can only release another song.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how it goes, man.
No, it's one thing that, you know, I don't think I ever told you direct, but I admired that about you because it was like, I just, you know, I don't think a lot of people understand, like, when it's your opportunity to finally create something and you get it off and then something like that happens, like, without hesitation, you were just like, nah, it's not just, nah, we're good, you know? Is there any new ventures going on with you right now? I mean, you guys got that move coming up in January?
Move coming up in January. We're actually just going to take over our store, so just helping out.
Yeah.
We have a store connected to our house, so that's the new adventure right now for us.
Yeah.
And then I got an app I'm thinking about.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm just still working on it, and I want to slowly get it out there soon.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that more once.
Yeah, when it's out and yeah. No, for sure, man.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. You know, in time, I want to give you an opportunity to shout out your village, you know, the people that supported you along the way. If you just want to get this opportunity to shout out people that, you know, that just supported you along the way, that played a huge influence, you have the opportunity now. Like, who would you shout out?
Man, it's all my family and friends.
Yeah.
You know, all the people that made relationships, even friends I call family now. You know, those people have always been there for you.
Yeah.
And you know who you are, man.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Always appreciate you guys. And you know, and shout out God too, man. He gave you this opportunity, the life, you know, breath of life. Every day you get to wake up.
Yeah.
That's a blessing in itself, man. And just to share the talent that He blessed you with, you know.
Yeah, man. No, I mean, one thing that, you know, that you're great at too is always coming through. You know, like when my dad passed away, the first time I called you, I was like, bro, I need something, you know, and you showed up and played. Didn't question how long it was gonna be, and you know, it's always amazing to see people use what they've been blessed with, to, you know, in return, right? Like, especially in that hard time, but. You know, man, like, man, I could talk about so much. I know we're kind of in a time crunch and stuff like that, but yeah, I appreciate you guys taking the time. I appreciate my cousin Peppa for spending this time with us. I know that the interview kind of felt fast, but you know, you're about to go gig in a little bit too, you know. So he's always on the go, man, traveling. You know, being a father to an amazing daughter who's gonna be 2 soon, a husband. I'm so happy for you because like you're killing it. You're growing, experiencing things that, you know, a lot of people are just loving. You know, love watching you do. Yeah. You know, so I appreciate you. But I hope you guys take some gems and some game from this podcast, something that can inspire you guys and elevate you guys and empower you guys to continue to live good lives, be of service to others, and just really encourage the next generation coming up. But you know the deal, baby, that the Village HI podcast. Let's go.